Welcome to Consultation Room Podcast. Back to another burning question series. So today, it's all about your mind, your brain, basically neuro stuff. So I'll be diving into something which is quite frustrating. A lot of people experience this situation, and I would say it's very common in a lot of people because it happens almost every day. So
Okay.
today, I'm going to ask Trudy a question and then we'll discuss why it happens and how we can fix it. So
Okay.
let's get started. So, Trudy, have you ever walked into a room where you were probably going to pick up something, or you went into a room for something, and then as soon as you got there, your brain just went blank and you actually forgot what happened, or like why you were there?
Every day.
You see?
Every day. Like, I open the fridge, I'm
Yep.
like, what did I need?
Exactly.
Or I walk in a room, I'm like, I've got my bag. Did I need a haircut? What did I need?
Yes.
Every day.
Yes. That is literally my story. Yeah. I feel like I go through this every single day, and sometimes I just feel like I'm having like a brain failure or something because
I'm getting old, I say.
yeah.
I'm like, geez, is this like early onset
Honestly.
dementia? What is this?
Honestly, I just feel like it happens too often.
Yes.
And to be honest, I'm glad I'm not alone. I'm glad you also go through the same thing. And I'm sure people out there also do experience it because, as I said, it's so common. So how common is it? Should I get into the statistics? Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Let's see
We'll
how
go
many people have
straight
got
into
early
it.
onset dementia like the rest of us.
Okay, yeah. So this is talking about, so obviously I'm talking about forgetfulness, but I'm not going into like the medical aspects of it where like people forget because of like, let's say some sort of disease like stroke, dementia, as Trudy mentioned. This is just general forgetfulness that happens to normal people in their everyday life, yeah? So that's what we're gonna look into. So getting into the stats. If you ever felt like, your memory is slipping away, don't worry, yeah, because it does happen to almost everyone. And
I'm
studies have
glad.
actually, yes, studies has actually shown that the average person forgets something at least once a day. And
Oh, that's good.
yes, I'm like, okay. I mean, I forget more than once a day, so
Yeah, exactly.
I'm past the average. Like, I forget more than once a day. As Trudy said, I could
Yes.
go into the fridge thinking maybe I need to go get milk or something. I get there, I'm like, why did I open the fridge again? I go to a corner, I'm gonna pick up like maybe a utensils or something, and I'll be standing there like scratching my head. I'm like, why did I go there again? Yeah, but don't worry, guys. It literally happens to the best of us, okay? It happens to everyone. It's very, very common. And it's also common because you know how I said a lot of people enters a room and then they forget.
Yes.
Do you want to know the statistics for that?
Go on.
Okay. So 43% of people say they walk into a room and forget why they're there at least once a week.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
This is huge. It's basically
Yes.
half of the population. How many people did this study or test?
It was quite a lot actually. They tested on quite a lot of people, like, asking.
Okay.
Yeah, so it as you can see, it is very common. So do not feel bad if you're forgetting. No, this is literally happening to everyone. Okay, so don't feel bad if it
Okay.
happens to you. Yeah, and there's also something that I'm actually guilty of. How many times do you spend like looking for your phone?
Do you know what? Sometimes I've got my phone in my pocket and I'm still looking for it.
Yep.
I've put it in my pocket and I'm like, sorry, I've lost my phone. I've lost my phone.
Exactly.
It's in my pocket.
Exactly. That happens so often. And again, study shows on average, people spend about 10 minutes a day looking for like lost items such as like
Wow.
keys, wallets, or phones. So,
Mm,
this is very, very common. I mean, there was something that I actually wanted to tell you. So, I have a friend whose husband, she
right.
she always says like, anytime her husband leaves the house, yeah, he comes back immediately because he's forgotten something. And I've been there, yeah, and it's actually been true. Trudy, like
Every
this
time.
guy, every single time. I've been there a couple of times and it actually happens. So she was like jokingly, like my friend was jokingly saying that, oh, she can never cheat on her husband because anytime her husband like walks out of the room, he literally comes back when he
Walks
leaves
back
the house.
in.
I'm like, oh Lord.
Mm.
Because he's always forgotten something. So it
But
could be
has he
like
actually forgotten it, or he just thinks he
yes,
has?
he generally has. Like sometimes he
Oh,
leaves his phone, his keys. Like he generally does. Like I've been there a
wow.
couple of
Okay.
times, Shooty, and it has happened. I'm like,
Yeah.
gosh, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yes, 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 yes. And another statistics. So average person forgets 50% of like new information within an hour and 70% within 24 hours, if not reinforced. And I think that is pretty much true, because
Mm.
yeah, like for instance, when we were in school, let's
Mm-hmm.
just keep it that way. And then you learn something, and then
Right.
if you don't go back to it, you're pretty much gonna forget. You have to revisit it. Do you get
Do you
it?
know what though? I feel like school, yes. Like school, I had to like read something 10 times before it stuck. But you give me one, like a song lyrics, once and I'll remember it. Why is that? There's things I think your brain wants to remember. It will remember things that your brain doesn't.
It's like there's some things maybe you find interesting, some things you don't. So
Hmm.
your brain kind of like selects the one it wants to remember and the ones it doesn't want
True.
to remember.
Do you know
It's
what?
been
You
selective.
say that, and it's made
Mm.
me think of something.
Hmm.
I've been somewhere at work, and this girl, I said, "Hi, I'm Trudy." Introduced myself
Mm.
once. An hour later, "Hey, Trisha." No, not Trisha. Trudy. 2 hours later, Trisha. No, not Trisha. I'm Trudy.
Yes, 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 yes. This
Literally lunchtime.
actually.
Trisha, when are you going for lunch? At this point, she clearly didn't
Mhm.
want to know nothing about me.
No, 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 no. It's actually quite normal, all of this. So she clearly remembers that, like your name starts with T, but she
But
just
she can't be asked. Is it Trudy? Is it Trisha? 5 times by the end of the day, I told her, not Trisha, Trudy.
Trudy. Yeah, I mean that is very common. A lot of people do forget people's name. Like it has to be quite like consistent. Like when you first meet someone,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of like fades away. You have to consistently meet that person, and and that's when it
Yeah,
stays in your brain.
true,
Yeah, yeah.
true.
But yes, I also checked into some statistics with that, like obviously females versus male, like who tends
Okay.
to forget more. And
Mm-hmm.
by no means, obviously, the male species do forget a lot more than the females, as expected. But
I'm sorry.
they report it more. Like, they would literally come to you, oh, babe, I've forgotten my keys, or babe, I've forgotten this. So they
Mm-hmm.
report it more. So that's why I feel like maybe it is like we do think that it's more common in males. But
Mm.
yes. Also,
That is
fem
true. No, that is
yeah,
true.
you know, when it
No,
comes to
that is.
us, I would literally keep it to myself.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. So that's what
that
I
is
think
true.
when it comes to that. Yeah. But also, when it comes to females, let's put it out there, we are juggling so much, like we
Mm,
multitask here. So I feel like our brain kind of Our brain literally learns how to organize things.
Organize
And
things,
yes, so we are able to
retain things quick.
exactly because
You know, we can't be out
we're
here
used to
redoing things 10
multitasking.
times.
Exactly. So we are able to retain things and not forget. But whereas male, let's say for instance, you ask them to multitask, they will
Mm.
easily forget something because they're not used to it, you know?
Mm.
Yes.
Let me
But
tell you a little story as well about the
yeah.
male species.
Mm,
So the other day,
mm-hmm.
literally last week, my fiance and I went to
Yeah.
the Algarve, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we were in Berlin, we were catching a flight really early in the morning.
Mm,
Both of us packed our bags and everything. We pack our
yeah.
passports. And before we leave, I said, don't, the most important thing is passport. You know, I always say that
Yes.
whenever I'm traveling.
Yeah.
We were taking a train to the airport. We get to the train station. The train is there. And then he goes, I don't know. I think I've left my passport.
Oh
I think I've
no.
left my passport. I'm like, oh, we can't
Oh,
get on the train then. I said to
oh
him,
my God.
can you look? He's like, no, I think I've left it. I think I've
He was
left
so
it.
sure as well.
Yeah, he was so sure. Train leaves. I said, look, there's no point of you running back. I know we can
Oh
catch the next. So
no.
just check.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, it
Please
was
tell me it
in
was
his
there.
bag.
Thank God. Oh my God. Imagine upon all the things to forget your passport and you have to go back.
But now we missed the train. And then we had to wait another half hour.
Oh
So it was
no.
rush, rush, rush. Yeah.
Oh, bless
Mm-hmm.
you.
Exactly. Because it was really early in the morning. It's
Yeah.
not one of those that the train is every
Mm,
5-10 minutes. It
mm,
was one of those, it was like, I think we're leaving around like 4 in the morning. So it was
mm.
not, it was like every half hour. But yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
right. The male species
Mm,
forgets that even things that they
yes.
have just done like 5 minutes before.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And let's get, what do you think when it comes to like age wise?
I
Do you
mean,
think?
just like
Hmm.
normal standard forgetfulness or
Yes.
dementia.
No, we're not talking about dementia.
Do you know what I mean? Because if you're going by that, when it comes to forgetfulness, it's definitely the. I would
And
say,
hmm.
I would say people between the age of 25 and 45.
Hmm.
Yes, they forget the most.
Okay, good. So, just as a standard statistics here, so around 56% of adults report experiencing memory lapses at least once a week,
Mm,
regardless of age. But
okay.
by age 65, the average person will have lost about 40% of their ability to form new memories due to normal aging. So
Wow,
that we already know.
65.
Yes, around 65. So unfortunately, when you get to 65, just know, like, new experiences and stuff, they're not really gonna stick in there that much, you know?
Mm,
Yeah, you tend to remember the old times more. But yeah, and you will lose quite considerably amount of
that is
memory.
quite
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, it is.
That is
It
actually
is.
quite sad
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
65 is still so young. Like,
Yeah.
that's my
It
dad.
is.
He's still
I
so
know.
young.
I know. My dad is getting there,
Mm,
getting there. Yeah. But then sometimes too, I just feel like obviously as much as we do say with age, like, your memory you will lose memory. I also feel like
yeah,
it depends on the individual. Like even I don't know, I just feel like it depends on how focused people are and stuff. Because do you
true.
remember when we were young, yeah, Trudy, and
Mm-hmm.
let's say for instance, not like a child yet. Like we were young, and let's say
Mm,
for instance, your mom sends you out here to go buy something, and
right.
you haven't written it down, and then you get to the shop, you're like, what did mom say again?
Mm. But I
It's
think part
probably
of it is
because
also
you were
when
not
you're a child, you're
focused.
distracted. You'll say,
Yes,
"Oh, look,
that's
a
what I
horse.
mean.
Oh,
Yep,
look at a
that's
dog."
what I
So you
mean.
get so
Yeah.
distracted so easily.
Yes, exactly. You're not
I used
focused
to
on
sing
what your
it. I
mom
don't
is
know about
saying.
you, Steph, but I used to sing sugar milk bread, sugar milk bread. Like I would sing the like as I walk to the
Yeah,
shop
yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
thinking I don't want to forget.
Exactly. Yeah. To be honest, we've all done that. We've all done that.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've all done that. But another statistics which actually shocked me was, with the digital world we're in at the moment, it does
Yeah.
affect a lot of us. And this
Mm-hmm.
statistics actually said 90% of people suffer from like digital amnesia, where they forget information because, they assume they could always look it up later. You just go onto your phone
Mm,
and go check it out. So why
that
retain that
is true.
information? You know?
Oh my God, that is true.
Yeah, yeah. So that is such a problem. Yeah. And
Yeah.
apparently, the average person checks their phone like 144 times a day.
Ouch.
Yes. I'm like,
That is
that's a
bad.
lot. That's a lot. I'm like, surely I'm not,
144
I don't do
times.
that 144 times. Surely not.
Wow.
Yes, Trudy.
Oh my,
So it's
that
all,
is,
mm-hmm.
oh my God, that is a
Mm,
lot of
yeah,
times.
yeah. So it all
Oh, I don't
contributes
know.
to like the forgetfulness, because it's basically
Mm-hmm.
reducing like your brain from like retaining information, basically.
Mm,
Yeah. So guys, just reduce the amount of
wow.
time you're checking your phone. I'm gonna do that.
144. That is, I'm still, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still shocked by that.
I'm shocked as well. I
That
was
is
like,
a lot
wow,
of
that's a
times.
lot. That is. Like,
Mm,
is it like every minute? Yeah, it's a lot. It's a
literally,
lot.
like,
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a
wow,
lot.
that's bad. That's really
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
That's
So
terrible.
let's get into like the common types of forgetfulness. I'll just name like
Okay.
one or two. So we do have one which we've already mentioned, where like you enter a room and then you kind of forget what is going on. So this is
Yeah.
called the doorway effect. So basically, what normally happens, if you want to know, is our brain segments like experiences. It basically experiences things into episodes. So when you
Mm.
physically transition yourself between spaces, yeah, our mind tends to treat the previous thought as part of like a past episode. So making it harder for you to like retrieve things. So it's like
Oh
you walk into
wow.
one room, yeah, your brain
Mm.
forgets what happened in the other room. So
Mm.
that's why it makes it hard. Like you're like, oh, okay, why did I come into this room again? What did I come to pick up? So it's not our fault,
Yeah.
okay? It's basically the way our brain operates. So
Right.
yes. You can be lenient on yourself when it comes to that. Yeah.
Listen, at this point, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, listen, I'm not even just
exactly.
forgetting. It's just my brain not
It's
doing
just
what it's supposed to do.
exactly, exactly. And do you see how you said that lady kept on calling you Trish or whatever?
Trish,
Trish, yeah.
Trisha. I'm
Yes, yes,
like,
yes, yes. Basically, there's another another type of forgetfulness, which is called the tip of the tongue syndrome. So, this is what the lady might have been experiencing. So,
five
basically, what
times though, Steph.
I'm just trying to
Fifth
make an
times
excuse
though.
for her. Okay. But okay, let's put her aside. Let's say, for instance, like that happens to me
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. Let's say, for instance, there's a word that I want to say. Like I'm talking to someone and there's a word I want to say, and the word is not coming, but I know it begins with like a particular letter.
It's
Let's say
right at the tip of the
begins with like
tongue. Yeah,
B
you
or
just,
something. Yeah, but
that's
I just
different.
cannot Yes, this is what we're
But
talking about.
no, but can you imagine, like with her, it's
Mm,
one of those, let's say she has this, right?
mm,
So she's like, I know it starts with a T. Don't just
yeah.
think of any word and call me like Trisha,
Trish,
Tracy.
she just knew
No,
it began with
just
T.
say, hey, sorry, I forgot your name again.
Yeah.
Because it's the same way if I'm trying to tell you something, I'm like, oh, what's that place? Oh, that
Mm.
place we went, it starts with a B. And then I say,
Be-
I don't know, like
Boat.
I'll say a random word like boat. No, I
Exactly.
can't say
Yeah.
boat. I have to try and remember. So
Yeah, yeah.
this lady was out to get
Don't
me.
mind her. Don't mind her. Yeah. So basically, what happens with the tip of the tongue syndrome is that it's basically like a
Mm,
temporary failure in like retrieving processes in the brain. So what
yeah.
normally happens is that the brain stores information in like neural networks where
Mm,
words and concepts are connected. So when you try to recall, let's say for instance, something or a
mm,
situation, your brain like searches for the right pathway to access it. So sometimes that
Right.
right pathway may be blocked or it may be weak for some reason. So your brain gets close to it but can't
Mm-hmm.
quite reach the answer. So that's when you
Right.
often like, yeah, you often remember like related details
Mm-hmm.
to do with like the situation or like the word, like the first letter, like you
Yeah.
said, or like a syllable, but really
Mm.
it's not the full word. So that's basically what happens. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So the brain is a very tricky mindset. It's a very tricky organ, the way
Mm.
everything works and stuff. And I normally say is that like our brain is so smart. It's basically it filters through information and like what is not important, it basically tries to forget and retain what is important.
True.
So if you want to like remember something, you basically have to focus on that thing so that
Mm-hmm.
you don't forget, because like our brains are constantly processing like millions of pieces of information, like
Yes.
like right now there's lights here, there's a tablet here, there's a microphone I'm holding, like our brain is
Mm.
like there's a lot of things going on, so it kind of has to like process everything in like
Yes.
a lot of these things. That's why we tend to forget, but forgetting is not necessarily a flaw. It's actually the
Mm.
brain's way of, as I said, like filtering out unnecessary data. So
Okay.
be lenient with yourself when you do forget, okay? Just
Okay.
say that my brain is storing important information. Yeah,
Information. This is clearly not that
exactly.
important enough for my
Exactly.
brain.
Yes. So,
Okay.
yeah, so we've mentioned like some few things, some few reasons why we may forget things, but let's get into like some of the key reasons why we do forget. There are loads of reasons, but I've just pinpointed like some few, like some key ones, which I think are quite
Right.
important. Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously to start off, it's like cognitive like overload. So
Yes.
when it comes to, let's say for instance, um myself, I probably have like to take care of my kids, I have to like take care of the house, do this. So sometimes your brain gets overwhelmed with like the amount of things it has to do. So
Mm-hmm.
especially for women that multitask. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not your fault. Your brain is just overloaded with information. So as we said, that's why you tend to forget. So that may
Right.
be a reason. But another reason, which I hold my hands up as well, is lack of sleep. When I have not slept, Trudy,
Yes.
I have like a brain fog.
Mm.
It's like I don't know what is going on. Like I just
Can't
can't
even say my
operate.
name.
No, yeah, I just can't operate.
Yeah.
And I feel like it happens to be quite often, quite
Yeah.
often. That I would say this is like one of the main reason why I forget. This is for me. That's one of the main reason. And what
Yeah.
happens is that when you sleep, this is the time where your brain actually consolidates memories. And so if you have like poor sleep, it basically
Mm-hmm.
weakens your memory formation.
Right.
Yes. And we did say, I'm sure we've mentioned this before, stress and anxiety. It plays a
Yes.
lot of role in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, when it comes to stress and anxiety, basically, when you're stressed, it increases the amount of cortisol in your body, and high
Uh-huh.
cortisol levels interfere with memory retrieval. So that's what
Mm-hmm.
happens if you're stressed. You'll be scratching your head, you're like, oh, I can't remember, because your cortisol level is so high, it's not allowing you
Yes.
to remember the things you need to remember. Yes. And poor diet, as we've mentioned over and over and over again, can also
Yeah.
impact on a lot of things. Again, when it comes to poor diet, there are some nutritional deficiencies which lead to memory loss, or basically
Mm-hmm.
it basically deteriorate your brain function. So for
Yeah.
example, vitamin B12, if you have low vitamin B12, this can affect your brain function. That is one thing
Hmm.
that a lot of people have realized.
I hope the
And
vegans are listening.
yes, I hope so. Trudy, I hope you've been checking your levels.
I, I take vitamin B12 every day.
Good, 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 good. Yes. And alcohol and drugs, as we already know, these influence in a lot of like our brain activities and stuff. So when you're under the influence of like alcohol and drugs, you tend to black out sometimes, you tend to forget a lot. So this
Yeah.
is not going to help with your brain function. Yeah. As I've already mentioned, too much screen time, so you keep checking your phone and stuff. That is again gonna like decrease your brain function.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. So I have
Wow.
spoken a lot, and you may be wondering, so how can you train your brain to improve
Please,
your memory? Yes.
please let us know, Steph.
Yes, yes, yes. So what we normally look at is that brain is like a muscle, right?
It
So
is a
the
muscle.
more you train it, right, the more it
Mm-hmm.
becomes stronger. So you have to use it more. So you have to basically work your brain. So what you can do is that you could do some like mindful meditation or something, let's say
Mm,
10 minutes a day. Maybe you try to meditate to improve your focus. You say, okay, I'm going to focus on this thing today and just meditate on that, you know?
yeah,
And that really helps. And believe you me, brain games as well and puzzles and stuff, they really help
that's
as well.
me. Yeah.
Oh, good. You
You
like
know, like
that?
this word, what do you
Yes,
call
the
it? Like
word
what
games.
like yeah. I
Yeah.
do that literally
Oh,
like
good.
as often as I can.
Good, good, good. Those are very good. And Sudoku and stuff, they really do help.
Yes.
And there are some memory games out there as well. They really help to train your brain. So to help you
Mm-hmm.
keep your memory. So please, they make your brain really sharp. Make sure you're playing that. So I don't want you to be playing Candy Crush and all of those things. Yeah, those things are gone past. Word
Minecraft.
games is in Minecraft. I don't even know. Oh yeah.
This kind of crush
Bas-
is Minecraft. These are the
Okay.
games that the kids are playing nowadays.
I see. I don't even know what's out there. So basically, word games, Sudoku, those are the sort of games you should be playing to train your brain. Yeah. And even
Yes.
chess, like good old chess helps as well. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to
Yeah.
think, actually.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm.
And I did mention the doorway effect where you walk into a room, you forget. But a way to help you improve that as well is there's a 5 second rule. So if you walk into a room and you forget, this is what you should do. Literally, stop and mentally retrace your step before doing
Mm-hmm.
anything else. This literally helps you remember why you came into the room. But let's say, for instance, you get in and you forget, and then you start searching whilst you don't even know what's going on.
Yes.
You're not going to remember. So as soon as you walk in the
True.
room, if you forget, remember the 5 seconds rule. Just
Mm-hmm.
retrace your step and think about what you did. Okay. And
Yeah.
it may come back to you. Yeah. Um, Another way to also help you is something called the chunking technique. So this is basically like breaking down information into smaller chunks. So let's say, for
Okay.
instance, yeah, someone says, I don't know, memorize 854,000 words or something.
Mm.
You're definitely not going to remember that, right?
No.
So maybe what you could do is just break it into chunks, basically. Maybe
Yeah.
100 there, 100 there, 100 there. I mean, it's still quite a
Mm.
lot, but you get what I mean. Like, just break it down into
Mm-hmm.
small chunks. That helps you. And it
Yeah.
helps with exams as well. Like, I mean, that's what I do with my kids. If, for instance, they're learning and stuff, I know they
Yeah.
cannot do things like a lot of things. So we just do it slowly. You do
Yeah.
it bit by bit. If you give them like a lot of information at the same time,
Too
they,
much. They get
they're
distracted
gonna
as
forget.
well.
Exactly, they're gonna forget.
Yeah.
So it's better to do it in small chunks. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And obviously, we have mentioned that stress and lack of sleep contributes to you forgetting. So, or what you can do is just improve your sleep and reduce stress. And
Okay.
yes, one which we always mention when it comes to lifestyle is physical activity. Literally, exercise boosts blood flow to your brain, therefore
Mm-hmm.
improving cognitive function. So the best thing you can do is go for a
Go
walk
to the gym.
in, gym these days, like, maybe a
Get
lot of
that
people
gym
don't want to go.
membership.
You could just go for a walk, honestly, and get some fresh air. That really helps as well. Okay?
Mm.
Yeah. So you may be wondering, we're pharmacists here. What can we do to help you? Help you
Mm-hmm.
with your brain health. Well, I do have some vitamins and some supplements which some people can take just to help stimulate their brain or help with their brain function. Okay?
Right.
So I did mention vitamin B12. Um, Low levels of it can lead to decline in memory. So what you can do is that make sure you check your vitamin B12 levels every now
Mm-hmm.
and then if it is low, do go for some vitamin B12 supplements because this is actually
Right.
essential for like nerve function and memory. And another vitamin that I didn't mention is vitamin D. So, because low levels are actually linked to cognitive decline. So please take your
Mm.
vitamin D tablets as well. Okay?
Go on holiday.
And get that sunshine. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, yes, yes. And magnesium as well supports
Mm.
brain plasticity and memory retention. So these are like supplements I would recommend, but there are some herbal stuff as well, which if you
Mm.
want to go down the herbal route, but I have heard the ginkgo biloba, it actually
Mm.
helps improve like blood flow to the brain and may enhance memory.
Yeah.
And there's one thing actually my grandma used to take all the time, and she was like, "Yep, it's to help me like retain my memory, to help support my
Okay.
brain function," which is omega-3.
I was just gonna
Omega,
say that. I was
yes,
like,
my grandma used to
that's
take
like
that
from,
all the time.
yeah, from like
Yes,
time they've said omega,
yes,
fish oil, omega
a fish
is,
oil,
what you need for
yes.
your brain.
Yes, my grandma, she was on it. She was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I need to remember the good old times. And I was like, okay.
Was she sharp? Was she like, did she have a sharp mind?
No, she didn't, but it was just something that like I think it was just instilled in her where they have to take omega-3.
Really?
Yeah, she just knew it
Oh
from
wow.
day one. Yeah. And another, I know Trudy is a tea person, so this is for you. Green tea,
Go on.
apparently,
Okay.
green tea, yes, it contains L-theanine, and which
Mm.
helps with focus and relaxation. So that could also
Okay.
help if you want that. Yeah.
Do
And
you know, green tea
another,
is my
which
least
was,
favorite though, so I'm
oh,
gonna struggle with that.
really?
But I'll,
Oh,
I'll try.
okay.
I'll try. I don't mind it, but it's my least favorite tea. Like it's,
Okay.
but I still have
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Okay. And then creatine is actually another as well. It supports
Yes.
brain energy production and memory. Yeah. So before I close it off, I wanted to ask you, Trudy, do you
Mm-hmm.
have a funny forgetfulness story for me? Because I have one for you.
Hmm. Funny forgetfulness
Hmm.
story. Let me see. I mean, I won't say it's a story as such, but
Mm,
like I forget things all the time. Like there's times I've forgotten if I've turned my hair straighteners on and I've
mm.
gone to work and then I've remembered, I'm like, oh my God, did I turn my hair
Yeah.
straighteners off? And then I'm like, oh, panicking. And at least as I'm driving home, I'm just looking up to see if there's any
Yeah.
smoke because I'm
Quiet.
thinking I burnt my
Yes.
flower. So yeah, that happens all the time. And actually on TikTok and Instagram, there's been like these things with, and I think this is quite interesting because
Mm,
clearly a lot of people forget things. Where girls, like let's say they're going out and they're like, oh, did I turn the straighteners off? They come back in and they're like, oh, they're off. Oh my god, did
yeah.
I turn the cooker off? Oh, they're off. And what the girls have
Yeah.
been doing now, they do a video of like you showing that forgetfulness and then you walking around with a video recording it's off, it's unplugged,
Okay.
the door is shut,
Yeah,
and yeah, and then they get in the car. So
I
I've done that a
see.
few times just so I remember, especially if I'm going away for a
Yeah.
while. But I don't think I
Oh,
have any funny stories. I'll have to think about it. But you go on.
okay, okay. I like the hair straighteners. I mean, that happens to me quite often, like iron as well, just to make sure that I'm like, oh, I hope I turned off the
Honestly.
iron, you know? Yeah, it happens all the time. Yeah. But there's one year which I'm even embarrassed, yeah, about.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, go on.
So there was one time, yeah, this was in Ghana. We were going
Mm-hmm.
to visit my mother-in-law. Like this is like a rural place, and
Right.
obviously we packed everything, going with the kids, and
Mm-hmm.
we went to sit in the car, and I forgot something. So this is not that bit, but
Mm-hmm.
clearly, yes,
Okay.
I forgot something. So came
Mm-hmm.
back in, came to pick it up. Then went back in the car. Oh, so I was sitting in the car. I was like, "Oh, okay. Usually when I sit in the car, I take my shoes off. I was like, okay, time to put my shoes back on,
Mm-hmm.
because we're nearly at our destination.
Yes.
Trudy, I looked down. And I was like, where are my shoes? Where are my
Where are the
slippers?
shoes?
Like, like, where's my shoes? I was like, babe. I can't find my shoes. What happened? Like, where are my shoes? Like, I kept on asking. He was like, what do you mean? I was like, I cannot find any shoes, no slippers, nothing. It's not here.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
he's like, what do you mean? I was like, there's nothing here. Like, I was like, I'm pretty sure. I was like to my husband, I 100% wore my slippers here when we were coming. I was like, then he was
Yes.
thinking, he was like, nah, babe. I think when you were coming, when I was reversing, I saw your slippers on the floor. I was like, no, that's not me. Because
No way. So
with
they
me,
were back home.
listen, this is like a three to 4 hours journey, yeah. We were
Oh
not
my God.
going back
So you have
home.
no shoes, you have nothing.
I don't
Oh
even
my
know how that
goodness.
happened. I'm always wearing something on my feet, yeah, like with the bedroom
Yes.
slippers, socks. Like and when I enter a room, I always take off like my outdoor shoes. So
Yes.
what must have happened was that, so when I said I left something indoor and I came out of the
Mm-hmm.
car, I took my
Yes.
shoes off when I came in, and then I
Yes.
came to pick up whatever. And then I think when I was going, I put it back on, but then when I was opening the car door, my
Yeah.
brain must have thought I was entering the room. So I took
So you took
the
off your
shoes
shoes.
off and then sat.
You left the shoes outside the car. Okay. That is that is new.
And like I was to my
Are you
husband, what do you mean I left my shoes here? Me
so
of
he
all
saw them though.
people.
Did
He
he
said
not question you? Like, why are
he
your shoes
didn't.
just out there?
He didn't. That's the thing,
He
Trudy.
probably
He
thought, you know
didn't.
what? I don't know what she's on about, but we're too late.
He
We need to
He
get
did
there.
it. But I was
I
so sure,
believe
yeah. I
it.
was like, I did not take my shoes. What do you mean I
Oh
did?
my
Like,
God.
how can I walk barefooted? That is not me.
Mm.
Like, I hate my feet touching the ground, you know?
So
I
what did
was
you do?
denying this. Trudy, what can you do? You're already out of the house.
To
It's
be
a three to
fair,
four
especially if it's
hours journey.
family, at least you can ask them for like shoes.
That's
So
what I did. I ended up getting
yeah.
slippers. Yeah. But they were
Mm.
all laughing at me. Like, they were like, You actually left your house with no shoes."
Without shoes, that's
Yes,
mad.
that was
Do you
me.
know what though?
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see something similar happening very easily because I've traveled
Yeah.
and I've forgotten my bag with the knickers on my bed.
It
I get to my
happens to the
destination. I'm
best of
like, I
us.
have no knickers. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's normal. It's like it happens so much. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I've
And
got to
like,
get new pairs of knickers.
I
Or have
feel
you
like
ever
it's
seen
our
like,
brain.
mm,
Sorry, go
have you
ahead.
seen these women walk
Hmm.
around with, like when you wear a wig and then you have like the wig cap?
Mm.
They're walking around with a wig cap.
Instead of the whip because
I think
That's what I
half of the time I think
mean.
they've left the wig at home.
That's what I was about to say, because it's our brain. Our brain is used to something like, you're constantly wearing the wig cap. So you put the wig cap
Yeah,
on and then you put your wig
you're
on.
comfortable.
So it's like a
Yes.
routine, yeah. Like with me,
Mm,
I enter a room, I take my outdoor shoes off. It's a routine. So it's like
yes.
it goes into your subconscious mind. So it's something that you do automatically. So do you
So
get
how
it?
do these
So,
women forget to wear the wig though? If you've got
no,
your
it's
wig
some.
cap, do you know what I mean? This is not even slip of the tongue forgetfulness. This is like you forgotten the important thing.
No, no, no. I feel like it's your brain on auto. So it's like you put your wig cap on, you're putting your wig on. So
You
you
put your
feel like you've
shoes,
done it.
you put your
You've done
coat,
it.
you're like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And you'll be on a bus. Like you'll be on a train
And then
with your
you'll be
wig
like,
cap and
my
you've got
head feels a
nice
bit
shiny
breezy.
lipstick.
Yes. That's me. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
this is
yes, yes, yes,
interesting.
yes. So that's the story of my life, Trudy. The day I walked
Wow.
out of my house with no shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But you left your shoes as you were basically you took your shoes off
Yep.
to get in the car
Yes. And when we came back home, they were literally where my
right
husband
there.
saw it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, wow, this is
Wow.
new, Stephanie, on a different level.
Literally.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes. Yes. But
Wow.
I give myself some, leeway, because it's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Exactly.
As we said, my brain is weeding out all the information that, it's not necessary. So
Important information. Shoes is not clearly
exactly.
that important. You were thinking
No, no,
about the
no.
journey. You're like, okay, we need
Exactly.
to stop here to get this, we need to stop here to get that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. So,
Interesting.
yes, that is it for me. So, what did you learn,
Mm-hmm.
Trudy?
Well, I think the most important thing I've learned is my forgetfulness is okay. I can do
Mm-hmm.
something to improve it. So I'm
Yes.
going to keep doing my word
Your
puzzles. That's it.
puzzles, yes.
Yes. I actually have an app on my phone. It's called Worldscapes. And
Okay.
it works, with or
Oh, yeah.
without Wi-Fi.
I
So when
used
I'm on
to
a
have
plane
that.
and I'm
Yeah.
bored, I actually just take on my phone and I get on
Mm-hmm.
my Worldscape. So I'm gonna keep doing that, but
That's right.
I'm gonna go the next step, like every night before bed.
Yeah.
And
Th-
I'm gonna try reduce my screen time.
mm.
I say try reduce because it's
Yes,
difficult, to be honest, but
it
I'm gonna
is.
try.
Yes, yes, yes. No, but I'm with you. I'm with you. So as Trina mentioned, forgetting, this is normal. It happens to everyone. Okay? So
Yes.
do not feel bad about it. And a lot of things do affect the reasons why we forget. So stress, lack of sleep, and digital distractions can make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
It happens to the best of us, as I mentioned. The key is building habits that support a sharper memory. So, simple habits like meditation, brain exercises, and getting enough sleep can train your brain to
Yes.
remember better. So, if you enjoyed this episode and you really liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, share, and please share your funny story about a moment you forgot something, yeah?
Yes,
In the comments,
please.
yeah, we want to know, okay? Let's all laugh together. But thank you so much for
Yes.
joining us on this burning question. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, a healthy chat is a step towards a healthy life.
If you have any topics you'd like us to discuss, drop us an email at consultationroompod@gmail.com. Our Instagram is @consultationroompod. See you next week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay blessed.